ones. So when I was shuffling out the spread for you, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see like an image or a movie reel or anything that is picture related. So we're just going to go straight into your reading. And if anything shows up during the reading, then of course I'll relay the information to you. I'm hoping a picture or an image will show up. I think it happened to one of the signs that I read for in the past. And then when I did the reading, the image came out. So anyways, and there's a lot of things and people that demand your attention, okay? So I don't know if you guys have taken like a really long, complicated math problems. You forget. So I feel like there's an element here about having to relearn the ropes, having to refresh your memory, having to dig through your memory Rolodex to kind of figure out how to break, or the people that you're dealing with have done that, and now everyone is trying to reorient themselves. And so when we start off this week, the energy feels to me to be a little bit wobbly. It's sort of like this uncertainty that I feel in your environment. What do we do? How did we handle this situation the last time? What do we do to mitigate the impact of this? So everyone is kind of wobbly, and there's a lot of crowdsourcing. What would you do in this situation? What is the best course of action? What should we do as a unit? Who should I delegate this responsibility to? So I see a lot of noise, and I see a lot of distraction, and I see a lot of people just trying to find their bearing. For those of you who are educators, okay, if you're teaching people, if you're even overseeing the work that they're doing, I feel this energy about you getting a little bit frustrated. It's almost like you have to show them how to do everything. So it can feel a little bit frustrating. If you're dealing with learners, like adult learners or young kids, I feel like you have to physically hold their hands and show them every step of the way how to do something. So that's what I'm feeling. And you can get a little bit frustrated. If you're dealing with other people, I see like, there's some damage control that where you have to physically be by their side in order to help them do something. So needless to say, lots to get done, lots to do, lots of people that you're interacting with, and lots of people that you're working alongside, and lots of people that you're showing how to do certain things, okay? So it's just the energy is very practical, but I feel like you need to be sharp. You need to switch gears if necessary, and you have to kind of show them the ropes and show them how to do things the way that you'd like things to be done. So that's what I'm feeling here with this spread. And what really came out with this spread is you have three threes. So first we have the Three of Pentacles, which is collaboration, working alongside other people, and everyone. It's like a concerted effort. Everyone needs to be on the same page, pulling or lifting at the same level in order to get work done. So everybody needs to be on board. If one person slacks off, this thing is not going to get off the ground. Okay, so there's an element here about collaborating, crowdsourcing, sharing advice, sharing best practices, and trying to, it's almost like a pep rally is what I'm seeing. Getting people motivated, getting people on board, and getting people to drop their egos so that everyone is working harmoniously together to get something off the ground. So that's the first thing. Three of Pentacles. We have then the Three of Cups, and Three of Cups deals with, celebrations and feeling proud and happy of some type of an achievement. And then we also have as well the Three of Wands, waiting for opportunities, waiting for things to come in for you. So the only thing that's missing here is the Three of Swords. And the reason I point this out is the threes came out, and the threes deals heavily with collaboration, but also creativity, okay? And what I feel happening in this environment is there's a lot of, I feel like everybody needs to drop their egos. Everybody needs to drop their egos. Everybody needs to like, not look out for themselves and operate from a place of selfishness and a place of self-interest and keeping score. So it's almost like, I did it last time. Joe or Billy Bob needs to do it this time. Like, that's selfishness. And so whatever, if there has been a lot of, keeping scores in your workplace or in your relationships or with the people that you're dealing with, we're not going to see that anymore. Okay, so everyone is like chipping in, doing the fair share of the work, and then everyone is going to reap a very handsome reward as a result of working together, as a result of, we don't need to, show one up another person. We just need to do what we're supposed to do so that the wheels in the machine run or operate smoothly. So I feel like ego games, keeping scores, all of that is being kind of let go of, which I feel is really, really good. And so I see something that you guys are preparing for, and this is something that you already know is coming. Okay, so this is not going to. It's something big, and for some of you who are in, an office, more like an office setting where you're dealing with a lot of paperwork or files or portfolios or clients or something, there's some type of internal, for those of you who are teachers, it could be, one of those standardized testing that we do here in the States. So you're getting your students prepare for that, or you are planning for that, or everyone is collaborating to figure out how do we cater to this test, or you're gathering material so that you can teach the test, or you're trying to find best practices so that you can, get really good test scores, which will boost the standing of the institution, the academic institution that you work in. And then for others of you, I feel audits, I feel testing, I feel appraisal. So, even fixing a house because you're planning to sell in May. Okay, appraisal, fixing something to make sure that it passes the quality control aspect, or to make sure that some of you could also be the one doing the audits. And so you're learning the procedures and the protocols right now so that you can, prepare for that. And I'm also seeing some people possibly enrolling or you want to enroll them in, might be very popular. It's highly impacted. Lots of people are applying, so you have to do it now. And you're saving up the funds in order to do that. Okay, so I feel this element about something that you need to plan for, that you're actively planning for right now, which is really good because, you're giving yourself a head start. And I feel like things are going to be very favorable, which is great. And I'm also seeing as well, for some of you, there's like a financial, there's some type of a big expenditure as well that you're planning for in April. It could be like something that you need to, like appliances or something that you need to buy brand new. Could be even a new laptop, a new computer, a new phone. Phones are expensive now, especially the smartphones. So there's something, a big expenditure that you're planning for. And for some of you, could be even be vacation, like a big vacation that you're planning. And I feel like you're trying to keep yourself on budget. You're trying to not to overspend, and you're trying to keep yourself. So that's what's coming up. I'm trying to just see if any images rolls in as I talk about the cards. So you're starting this year with a lot of momentum to get things done, a lot of determination, and a lot of drive and ambition. And I feel that financial situation as well. So I don't know if you've gotten promoted or if you've gotten a raise, or if you're planning for to ask for a raise too. So I definitely feel like, you're proactive, you're taking charge, you're moving things along, and you're also coming to this point where, it's like letting the ego go, letting the ego drop aside, so that we can all work collaboratively together. I also see somebody who feels that you're being very harsh with them. So it could be verbally, you could be very harsh with them, or the distribution of the work, they feel it's unfair. I feel though they have I feel like they don't have a good or realistic assessment of the situation. So I don't feel like you should, take what they say to heart. They've got this, woe is me, victim mentality about them. So whatever they're telling you, I don't feel like they're a really good worker. I don't feel like they're hardworking. I feel like they might be a little bit, just a little bit, opportunistic. They like to coast. They like to just, enjoy the ride. And they're calculating. They're calculating. And so, let whatever they say roll off your back, because I feel like, you guys are generally very fair, and you give people credit when credit is due. So I don't feel like this is a person that have a good assessment as to who's being fair and who's not being fair. Okay, so take what they say with a grain of salt. I'm also seeing as well. Let me see here. I feel like there is a connection and you're contemplating what to do with it. So there is a romantic connection. I don't know if this is a person. So, the threes can also indicate interference in a relationship. And because three of them came out, what I feel though is, once again, there could be somebody in the work environment that you're dealing with that you have an attraction to. And then there could be, another, like a significant other or a spouse that you're also in a relationship with. So I definitely see you wedged in the middle between two other people. Um, I feel like your current relationship, there's a little bit of conflict in your current relationship. Ego conflicts, like two people who are very, very stubborn. And I see also a relationship where it's like we made it against all odds. And what it feels like to me is, that whole concept about sunk cost. It's almost like you've been through a lot with this person, and against all odds, everyone told you like, oh, it's not going to work, or don't get married too fast, or there might have been children that, like, pregnancies that were unplanned, and then it kept you together. And I felt like you went through the motions to succeed, to get a job, to make sure you can take care of your significant other. And you guys have been through a lot together. But I feel like the relationship, it has its moments of immense love, immense joy, also difficulties, and a lot of struggles, as with all relationships. But what I feel is it's a relationships where you felt like you went through the motions. You went through the motions. It was like, we dodged this bullet. Here's the next rough patch around the corner. Let me plan for that. So it's almost like you just went along for the ride. And now you're looking at this relationship and you're just like, is this fulfilling everything? Checking is it ticking all those, check boxes? Is it in its entirety? Is it like bringing me this total emotional happiness and satisfaction? So that's what I'm feeling here. And I almost get this element about somebody who is, you could be in love with somebody, but you're no longer attracted to the other person. That's what I'm getting here. And I feel like it's one of those, it's like you love them, you care about them, and there's a lot of history between the two of you. So there is love in every sense of the word. It's like you care about the other person, you like them as a person, they're a good person. You trust that no matter what, they'll be there for you, despite the temper tantrums and the ego conflict. You know that they're going to be there. At the end of the day, they're going to be there for you. But I feel this element about, like, I care about them, but I'm not really attracted to them anymore. Or I care about them and I love them, but it's not really romantic love anymore. So there's a transformation here, I feel, in the way that you feel. In a relationship, it has transformed into something else. And so whenever that happens, whenever we find something, whenever we find like a little fault or a little blemish in something that we care about or something that we are emotionally very deeply involved in, I feel oftentimes, we tend to dwell on the imperfections, okay? And this is notorious when it comes to earth signs in general, especially the Virgos. But I also feel like with you, you're trying to figure out, what is missing. And I feel like you might come to the realization that it could just be that element of, I like this person, but I'm not attracted to them. For those who are dating, I feel like, you have somebody where you're just like, they're a great person, very caring, very nurturing, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not feeling like, I'm 100% in it. And I'm not feeling like my blood is boiling, like that passion. And then there's another person I feel like that is really triggering your deep passion. Okay, what I have here is the devil. And I got this card for another sign, and I mistakenly said it was the death card because I was thinking of the death card, the transformation, but it is the devil. So whichever sign it was for, I think it might have been Pisces. So if there are Piscean people that have already watched the Piscean video, this is the devil. So temptation, a situation that can be a little bit scary. It can be very unnerving, okay? Dealing with somebody as well who has conflicting agendas. Okay, so what I mean by that is I feel like there's another person that you have a very strong attraction to, and you're still clinging on to your current relationship, and that's fine. You're protecting your current relationship. And what I also feel is I feel this element about, the devil that we know. Staying with the devil that we know because we don't know what's around the corner. And as an earth sign, you guys are very much into stability and certainty, and you don't take a gamble that you know you can't win. And so I feel like there's a lot of fear here keeping you in some type of a situation, some type of an environment where you kind of go over the scenarios over and over and over and over again in your head. And the message I'm getting is, what am I willing to tolerate? What am I willing to put up with? And when we are kind of rolling the dice when it comes to your emotional happiness, you want to think about it in totality. Take the situation in its totality. Is it 100% okay? And there are ups and downs in every work situation, in every interpersonal relationship that we deal with. No one's perfect. No work situation is perfect. But there is like a certain threshold that we will tolerate or we will accept or we will compromise. There's always a threshold. So you need to kind of assess, is this situation currently, is it meeting that threshold? And what indicators do I need? What signs do I need from the universe that is no longer acceptable? What signs? Like, when is the breaking point? When is it no longer acceptable? When is it no longer, when is the threshold so low that I'm no longer happy? So you kind of need to give yourself some type of a realistic assessment of situations to let yourself know, to be like that barometer to allow you to gauge when it's no longer happy or emotionally fulfilling for you to stay in it anymore. Okay, and I feel like that's what you've been kind of avoiding. And collaboration, it's all about rubbing shoulders or elbows with new people, allowing new opportunities to come in, working and building and expanding your social circle, your professional networks, and also allowing the right people to come in too, people that are more in alignment with your life path. Okay, so this is a good year for you guys overall to be able to come across people that have the same interests, meet people that are heading in the same, possibly professional, with the same professional goals and the same professional direction. Okay, and I feel like, it eases conversations. It allows you to feel more in alignment with just the people that you're around. So there's definitely three people. I see like you're wedged in between two other people. And I feel like there's somebody that is it's almost like somebody is communicating with you and you're looking at their communication, and they're waiting, 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 and they're what I'm getting here is the Hermit, and there's an hourglass right there, and it's somebody that's waiting for a really long time, or willing to wait for a very, very long time. And I feel like they're waiting on communication. They're waiting for you to make up your mind. They're waiting for you to realize, see the situation for what it is. With the Five of Cups, the Five of Cups is like sadness, sorrows, and regret. And in this situation, it's like, don't wallow in this state. Make a move, make a stance, make a choice, make a decision. So, get yourself out of this. And I feel like they're waiting for you to come towards them. And I also feel there's this element here about you being comfortable. Queen of Pentacles, financially very abundant. I'm not worried about you guys ever when it comes to your financial situation. And Four of Pentacles, clinging on to a situation, clinging on to, whatever we feel is very security oriented. So it's almost like that devil that rather than taking a risk, rather than venturing forth, rather than seeking something that can make you 100% fulfilled. Okay? So I'm just going to leave it at that for you. This is the energy for the week, and I'll be back next week. But I feel like there's just a lot of work that you're bearing yourself in to kind of distract you from the emotional things, I feel. Distract you from looking in the mirror and really figuring out, what do I want? Like, what do I need to do? What do I need to pursue to bring in that 100%, total satisfaction? What does that even mean to me? So I feel like you're going through the motions, but you haven't really tapped into that energy. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that, Taurus. I wish you the very best for this year. I'll be back next week. Okay? Take care.